with the postseason being canceled after going to back-to-back Sweet 16s and an Elite Eight the previous 2 years. And especially with, like you were talking about this past team, you guys were as hot as ever right there going into the
Yeah.
tournament at the start of March. So, yeah, just how disappointing was it with everything turning out like that?
Yeah, no, I was definitely very disappointed. Just, I mean, like you touched on, we were playing so well, and I mean, I definitely feel like we would have made history and kind of got back to the Final Four.
Hey guys, it's Terrence Nan. You're listening to Hear the Spirit presented by Nole Game Day. Go Noles.
Hey, what's up? This is Peter Ward, aka P-Dub, in the house. So we're listening to Hear the Spirit, presented by Nole Game Day. Go live, go Noles.
Hi, this is Charlie Ward, and you're listening to Hear the Spirit. Go Noles.
This is Terrell Buckley. You're listening to Hear the Spirit, presented by No Game Day. No Bloody.
But perhaps better known as the greatest corner to ever step on a football field, Deion Primetime Sanders.
Great Deion Sanders, my brother.
What's going on, man? I could wake up to that greedy every day, man. That was awesome.
Hello, Noles fans. This is former Seminole Derek Brooks, and you're listening to Hear the Spirit, presented to you by Nole Game Day.
James Wilder Jr. What's going on, James?
Thanks for having me on. SSOD, Florida State or Die, and go Noles.
William Bar None Floyd.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What's up, guys? We are back. Took a month break. We kind of feel bad about it, but we're back with a lot of energy, a lot of motion, and a lot of excitement. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but welcome to Hear the Spirit presented by Nole Game Day. I am Logan Robinson, the founder here at Nole Game Day. I'm here with our lead writer and editor, Dustin Lewis, our lead basketball writer this evening. What's going on? It's a beautiful Thursday evening. We're back, boys.
You didn't even say my name.
We're back.
We're back.
You just said, and our lead basketball writer. How we doing, guys?
I do it all around here, so.
Hey, Austin, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Man, we're
God,
back.
I get y'all
Sorry.
Trenton.
I know. Yeah, we have a big podcast. Obviously, Trent Forrest is our special guest. But yes, Austin Beasy, our lead basketball writer, with us too.
Good to have
What's
you.
up? I'm sorry.
Disrespect.
I know. I'm
Disrespect.
sorry.
It happens, I guess.
I was excited. You can say I'm excited.
No, you're
about
definitely
being back on
excited.
here. Yeah, no, I'm stoked about this because we have a new segment now on every podcast called Top 3 Worst. So we're going to pick our top 3 worst of whatever subject. Tonight is going to be top 3 worst fast foods. The guys have written it down on a sheet of paper. Dustin probably didn't, but I've got mine written down.
We're supposed to write it down?
No, it doesn't
That's
really
not
matter
my
as long
fault.
as you remember it. Yeah, as long as you remember it. But we're going to pick your top 3 worst fast foods. And you guys can also listen in and you can pick yours, but I think there's going to be some arguments. And I think it's going to be a good segment that we can use for other things too, like chores, maybe sodas, even though Austin doesn't drink sodas. I don't
You
really.
guys do chores?
No, I don't know where you came up with that one.
Yeah, I was about to say, what?
Okay, well, I'm trying to just act like an adult here. I guess I'm the only adult and I'm the youngest, so whatever. But yeah, we actually have Trent Forrest. I mean, we need to be pretty stoked about that. Trent Forrest is going to be here on the podcast. We just got done recording with him an awesome interview. He talks about obviously the ACC tournament and that getting shut down, his time at FSU, favorite moments of Leonard Hamilton, and also the coaching staff there. He also rips on Austin a little bit. A lot of good moments. He also is going to tell you what is better, sweet tea, an Arnold Palmer, or lemonade, and we were pretty stunned by the answer, all of us.
And keep in mind, he's from Chipley, Florida, which is a very country place in Florida.
Yeah, so you'll be entertained. But yeah, that's going to be coming up here in a few minutes. We're going to go over a lot of the football stuff that's been going on. Not a lot lately, but hopefully in the coming weeks we'll have a lot more football stuff with maybe some workouts. We have some inside scoop here on a few things. And we got recruiting to talk about and basketball. And then at the end we have our FSU trivia and then worst dad jokes. So it's a pretty packed podcast. We're happy to be back. As always, you can listen to this on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play. We're also on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on all of your platforms that you listen to us on. If you're on iTunes and you rate us 5 stars, we'd really appreciate it. It helps a lot and would help bring in a lot more Noles and listen to us. But we're back, excited. And, yeah, let's get started. So to start off with, we've got a little bit of recruiting kind of here. I mean, Chubba Purdy is going to be arriving this Friday, so a little nugget there. Florida State's, probably a lot of the fans are most excited for. The quarterback is coming in, and he's going to get and start rooming. And that's about it. I mean, there's not much more to tell you. But Chubba Purdy's I mean, but the thing is, though, that kind of nugget right there, if you're in our Discord server, you knew about this earlier in the week. But if you say anything about a quarterback, it doesn't really matter what he's doing, if he's playing Xbox or not. Everybody wants to know what he's doing. But Chubba Purdy's going to be here tomorrow. So while you're listening to this, that will be today. So he'll be here Friday morning in Tallahassee. Dustin, are you stoked?
Yeah, I mean, great nugget. I think another thing worth adding is Chubba Purdy's had his playbook for a while. He's been doing some meetings and things like that with the coaches. So I think he'll come in ready with a basic grasp of the offense, and he'll be, right there in the mix of things with James Blackman, Rodemaker, and Jordan Travis.
Yeah, because he's not gonna be as far behind as we all thought he was. He thought he would be when he signed, because Rodemaker was supposed to come in early, but with coronavirus and then missing all these practices, he's only had a couple practices. Purdy's nowhere near as far behind as we thought he'd be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think from what we've heard, a lot of the players, definitely the incoming freshmen, have been doing some installs, Zoom meetings with their coaches and all that. So, I mean, that's pretty much how it is right now for all colleges. They're doing some inside stuff. But watching film, but I think the second that Chubba Purdy, at least for him, once he told Norvell he was committed, I think it was probably emailed to him or sent over to him on Google Drive a list of the plays and film and stuff to look at probably that night. He probably was already getting that playbook. So he'll be here on Friday, tomorrow morning. And there's also a lot more players that are going to start coming in. Obviously, we're going to keep an eye on whatever the workout regimen they're going to try to do for Coach Storms and company. This is where, a lot of the coaches have said, like Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, the strength and conditioning coaches turn into really head coaches during the offseason. It's really important, and we've already seen some progress. Amari Gaynor, defensive end, linebacker, he's up to 225 pounds. He was actually playing at 210 last year, and it's going to show a lot about what Coach Storms is doing. He may get up to 230. I think he's at 227 I saw a couple of days ago. So he's gaining weight good, and it's healthy. He's going to stick with number 33 too, but Gaynor's gaining some weight there, Dustin.
Yeah, and I mean, he needs it. He's going to be right there in the middle of that linebacking core, and Florida State's going to look at him to be one of the best players on the defensive side of the ball. And really, like you said, with Purdy arriving and some of the guys getting back to campus, I think in June things are going to get rolling back a little bit. Players will be working out. There will be voluntary workouts, probably like player organized 7-on-7s, things like that. So June and July are going to be really big for this Florida State football program after spring practice got ended early and coronavirus kind of threw a wrench in the middle of everything right in this first off season for Coach Norvell and his new staff. So I think these next 2 months leading up to fall camp are going to be huge for the continuing development of this roster and what they want this team to look like on August 1st when fall camp starts.
Keyshawn Helton obviously had a really, really scary injury last year. Season was ended, but he's been rehabbed and he's back fully ready to roll. He's actually at 175 pounds. I believe Norvell told us in the opening press conference to get ready for spring that he had gained 20 pounds, and you can definitely tell if you see him on social media. But from what I've been told, he wants to get up to 180. He was actually playing at 160 pounds last season. Obviously, we know how fast he is. He and Blackman really work well together, deep, and the route exchange. But in the route tree, but he was after surgery though. He was at 150 pounds, which is nuts. So going from pretty much here 150, trying to get to 180, that's a 30-pound plus and gain, and it still goes to show what Coach Storms is doing. From what I've also been told, Jaden Woodby has lost 6 pounds. He's gone from 225 to 219. He wants to maintain that weight. Obviously, he's going to be working more in a DB role, it looks like, under Coach Woodson. But what are y'all's thoughts on this, and just kind of Coach Storms and maybe the players as a whole, man? Because obviously the gyms hasn't been open, the Moore hasn't. Guys have been having to find their own ways to do workouts. I saw a video of Marvin Wilson last night with Josh Griffiths, true freshman, just doing hill work with plates and hands. I mean, these guys are working their ass off, and obviously there's a lot of buy-in to what Coach Storms and his pretty much what he's telling them and his strategy.
Yeah, I mean, they've had to get very creative with how they're working out right now, being away from everybody, and with how the coronavirus has affected everything. But, I'd said it a couple minutes ago, but with everyone kind of moving back together as we head into June, I think it's going to do wonders for this roster.
And I've talked about it before, or at least I've tweeted it, and it's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, good thing you bring it up. I don't think Dustin knows about this.
Yeah, I do.
I can't stand the constant updates on a player's weight. Like, I don't need every couple pounds. I'm fine just going, what were you at the end of last season to start the next season? What are you now? I don't need every couple pounds. And Logan's the king of this.
Dude, I was going to say, you know how Logan is.
If you
Everybody has
him
their
in
little
Discord,
things now.
on Twitter, you love a dude's weight, and it's kind of weird.
If you want to come and learn about whoever's weight is going up or it's going down, who's trimming fat off, who's gaining muscle, follow me on Twitter at Logan's Twitty. That's going to be my plug. But you guys just need to follow me. Everybody has their own little things. Dustin was up till 5 a.m., everybody, making a document of how many names did you put in that document. Follow the follows. You were going to the coach's Twitter, and you were naming all of the recruits that coach was following. So everybody has their own little thing.
Yeah, but let's cut it's weird, but it's somewhat understandable. This is silly.
This team needs it though. That's at least give me that excuse.
I don't disagree with that. They absolutely need it. I just don't need every 3 pounds of muscle they gain. I need an update on it.
I think these are pretty impressive.
Yeah, James Blackman's over there gaining 2 pounds, and Logan's over there at half mast.
Excuse me? I actually was going to tell you, I think Blackman's well over. I think he's at like 210.
How does that make you feel?
Here's exactly why
great.
Here's exactly why I don't care about a player's weight. James Blackman gaining 10 pounds is not going to make him throw a ball more accurately. He can stand in the pocket more, but it's not going to help him overthrowing someone by 10 yards. He's thrown enough, honestly. He just needs to get the,
It's another conversation. I mean, I don't know. I like watching it. I've always been. I'm also on my own regimen right now. I was 173 before this quarantine thing, and then or even before that, but I wanted to get to 200 pounds. So I'm at like 196 right now, and my goal is still 200, but I wanted to be healthy weight. So I guess I'm kind of just like, I just like the weight gain. I like seeing the muscle being added, and that goes to show towards whenever you're out there on the field and you're conditioned and you're looking good. But like you said, Dustin, earlier, guys are going to start showing up. There's been a number of guys that are back in town. Jaden just came back from Cali. Blackman just came back home from the muck. So a lot of Noles are coming back, and I think it'll be pretty interesting to see what workout's going to be like, and hopefully we'll get some intel, maybe a little bit of inside scoop on what their plan is going forward. One player, real quick before we move on, one player told me Coach Storms is a beast, and he said there's a lot more structure and organization in the last staff.
I wonder why. I'll tell you why, because I whatever his name is, Odorinde, he took a 48-hour class to get certified. Been over this.
Yeah. It's just sad. I don't understand how that happens, but
What happens when you hire your friends, Willie?
Willie. Speaking of friends and things that could get ugly here, this is something we've had an argument in our Discord server. So, like I said, if you're not in our Discord, you're really missing out. We're arguing about drinks here. So today we are arguing about what is better, sweet tea, lemonade, or Arnold Palmer. What's better, sweet tea, lemonade, or Arnold Palmer?
Sweet tea's so good that I had to give it up, or I'd lose my legs.
I don't know what to make of that.
He's talking about diabetes, Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that was sick.
That reason exactly right there is why lemonade is better.
There's as much sugar in lemonade as
sugary. Have you been to Chick-fil-A? I've worked at Chick-fil-A. Both of them have about the same sugar amount.
See, Chick-fil-A lemonade's fine, but they put too much sugar in it. Publix lemonade, that's the stuff.
Best lemonade you can get is from Chipotle.
I don't even really go to Chipotle. Moe's over Chipotle.
All right, well, we're not talking about that.
Okay, that's another argument for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, sweet tea is just a different animal, and you're nuts if you don't like sweet tea. So it's 2-1 here, and later in the podcast, you'll be able to hear what Trent's answer is. But I mean, sweet tea just tastes good. I mean, it's just so nice. Just goes right through your mouth and tastes amazing.
Yeah, and if you're drinking an Arnold Palmer and you're not over 50, I will punch you in the face.
What? Is my mic acting up? What do we got?
Oh, it might be my end. Was he fizzling on your end?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Dustin's over here.
Like his voice wasn't like
maybe
cracking in and out.
No, we're good.
I don't know. He always sounds stupid. So
it's better. It's better now.
Thanks.
But like for about a minute there was like crackly for me. So I don't know. Just listen to it later, I guess.
I think that was just an excuse to get out of that argument. Anyways,
no.
Let's see. Okay. All right, so this is going to be our new segment, Top 3 Worst. We need to find a different name. Someone please tweet us or Discord us or someone tell us a better name for this segment. But we're going to pick from the three of us our top 3 worst of whatever category. So this week, we're going with top 3 worst fast foods. So any kind of chain, whatever it is, we're going to get.
I got a question. Am I supposed to choose something that's in Tallahassee, or can it be like?
It can be anywhere.
Yeah. It can be anywhere.
Oh, this is about it.
All right, so
and it's gonna shock everybody whenever Dustin said that there is a bad fast food place because he eats at fast food. There are 24 hours.
I've been getting better. You've
been cooking a lot. You've been eating a lot of steak, and I've seen you cooking.
Yeah, he was cooking tonight. Chicken. He was cooking enough tonight to be late to the production meeting, but you know.
And everything still went great. So.
Well, it took you 10 minutes. Never mind.
We had to put in a lot of the work, but it's all right. Top 3 worst fast foods. Who wants to go first? I'm fine with going first.
Yeah, it's your segment. You start us off.
Okay. Taco Bell, awful.
Wow.
What?
Dog shit.
Wow.
Taco Bell's doo doo.
That's bold.
Out of the 3 worst fast food restaurants in all of the nation.
Yes. You pick Taco Bell. First of all, number one, I don't even want to think about what they're cooking back there. I don't think they're even cooking.
That's not important.
Anyways,
I'll say this. I don't love it.
Just warm up in the microwave, and then I don't want to be shitting my pants by the time I'm home after I had one of the burritos.
I'm not saying I love it, but it's not 3 worst. Like when they did that steak nacho box, that was good.
Okay, but like, are you like during the afternoon like, I really want to go get Taco Bell right now? I'm like,
no.
Taco Bell.
Dude, have you ever been to Taco John's? All right.
No.
Exactly.
I've never even heard of that.
Exactly.
What is that?
It's worse than Taco Bell.
No one's ever heard of it, so it doesn't count.
That's what I'm. You told me I could pick anywhere in the country.
Well,
but it's got to be a chain.
It says it's a chain.
Wow.
It says it's a chain.
Friggin' jewelry chain. That's about the best we know of it. All right, who's up next?
I'll start.
Didn't even do 3.
No, we're doing one at a time.
Oh, okay.
My first one is Captain D's.
Dude,
D's.
That's my first one too. What?
It's not good.
I wouldn't even eat there. Yeah.
Like, and I'll be honest, I don't love seafood, but just
I would never eat fast food seafood.
You just drive by that place and you're just like, oh.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been there a couple times.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's not very good. I have firsthand dining experience, and after about one piece of fish, you're like, am I really gonna do this?
Oh no. What kind of fish did you get? Do you even know what kind of fish you get there? Do they just like hand it to you?
Dude, it's a fish and it's fried. That's all I know. It might not even be a fish. Could be just fried paper. I don't know.
All right, Dustin, you're up.
Well, he was going to say Captain D's, so.
Okay, well, I'll go.
Captain D's was my number 1.
So you're back on the clock.
You go number 2, and I'll go my number 2 then.
All right. My number 2 is Arby's. Arby's.
I know some people that love
trash.
Arby's, and I don't understand it.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I watch a lot of TV. I'm a guy that watches a lot of TV. I'll come home, catch a nice Family Guy episode on CBS or something. Just get a nice little 30 minutes in. I'm sitting there, and you get the dreaded commercial break. And what's my first commercial? Fucking Arby's. And they're sitting there, and it's showing me this giant roast beef sandwich, and I'm like, that looks pretty good. I'll go get that. I go and get a sandwich from Arby's, and you're like expecting a nice, I don't know, roast beef with some color on it, and you get this grayish, pale. This animal's been dead for 5 years. The commercial pulled me in, bro.
Commercial got you.
I got bamboozled. At least they have good fries.
Ew. Yeah, no, I haven't eaten there in so long. Like, very, very long. I think that'd be the last place I would go before. Like, yeah.
When I was with the basketball team, we had a grad assistant who legitimately loved Arby's, and he was genuinely upset when they closed to remodel.
Wow. That's troubling.
I'm a little queasy.
If he's listening, he knows who he is. I doubt he is, but he knows who he is.
He needs to be listening. If you're not listening to Hear the Spirit, what the are you doing? Let's see. All right, my next one is Wendy's.
Dude,
my one rebuttal when they did
the Baconator, that's it. And
when they did the pretzel burger.
Okay, that sounds I already hate pretzels.
The pretzel bun.
I hate pretzels.
Amazing. What?
They always smell good in stadiums, but pretzels are just bread with salt on top of it. Why in the hell
Logan,
would I want?
I can name you 3 restaurants that are worse than Wendy's without even thinking, and I can name 3 that aren't even on my list.
Well, we'll argue about that in a minute. But let me tell you. All right, the Baconator's fine, and the Frosties. I mean, that might
the spicy nugs.
It's like not. It's in the bottom of the third. So I think I can't
spicy nugs.
I've never had those, and I feel like I would duke myself. I guess my experience is that I would eat that on game days in high school, and I would really start feeling it when we were warming up for games, and I feel like I want to shit myself.
Well, I think that's more of a.
That was a bad idea. That was a stupid idea. Yeah, that was
it's more of a personal, bad memory than it is just bad food.
Yeah, but the fries with a chocolate frosty is absolute gas. If you haven't,
I'm wondering if that's so good. How's it in your body?
Yeah, how's it bottom 3?
I think it's just my stories from playing football and eating there, and then.
Yeah.
So would you rather have Quiznos or Wendy's?
Quiznos.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
By a long shot.
Hold up. I know what Quiznos is, but I've never been there.
It's kind of like a fast food pizza place. Basically.
Would you rather have Hardee's or Wendy's?
Oh, that's Hardee's.
Dude.
Okay.
Move on, dude.
Simple. All right, Austin, go ahead. What's your second one?
My number 2 is very similar. It's because y'all keep bringing it up every podcast for no reason. McDonald's.
Oh my gosh, that's not even in my top 3. That's so rude of you. That's where you work.
How can McDonald's
I don't know where this story started. I don't work there. I hate the place.
Okay.
No,
I don't get it.
You can't say that on. They're gonna
aside from the story.
No, I don't think it's good.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not worse than some of this other shit.
It is. It's like
your guys' lists suck.
No, the Big Mac.
I said Captain D's first. You agreed with that.
That was a good one. But then to go Wendy's and McDonald's on the worst 3?
I can't do it.
There's so many worse options.
I can't do it.
Hey, Dustin, this is going to be his most prized argument here because he is by far the most experienced. Anyways, so The fries are the best at McDonald's and fast food.
Disagree.
Am I lying?
Disagree.
Okay, who is it?
I like the waffle fries at Chick-fil-A, but the best is the Cajun fries at Popeyes.
Oh my god.
Those
Hey, in North
Those are
Carolina. God, son.
those are good.
He's not invited down to hang out with us during this football season that we probably won't even. Never mind. That's
Don't
pessimistic. That was pessimistic. I'm usually optimistic, but yeah, that was bold there. The golden fries.
I can't. My third choice is even bolder.
Well, that's where we're going for our Nole Game Days dinner. We're not going to some hibachi place. We're going to McDonald's.
Great.
We've had Taco Bell, Wendy's, and McDonald's on the worst 3. Logan, do you know how many fast food restaurants are in the United States?
Not.
I already named the Taco John's place that none of us even knew about.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you are the most experienced, so you know. All right. Who's up for the third? Or Austin is?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
Bold choice, and everyone at my actual job that's not McDonald's loves it.
Uh-oh.
Chipotle.
Oh.
No, I don't. I
Top
mean,
3. I got Moe's over Chipotle. But
I'm Moe's over Chipotle, Salsaritas over Chipotle, freaking Mexican food out of a food truck over Chipotle.
You're gonna get canceled by somebody.
It tastes the same. Everything there tastes the same, and it's not even good.
No wonder.
You're paying to get E. coli, and I don't understand it.
It's true. I went on a little. I had a girl come, and we went on like a little lunch thing before I went to the pool, and she definitely had the stinkies.
The stinkies.
It was bad. It was bad. Like, I felt so bad for her, but she definitely had something. She had something in her rice. But yeah, Chipotle, I don't trust them whatsoever. Moe's any day of the week. So, but I'm not gonna say it's terrible like Austin is, but
I like just every time I've had it, I'm like, what? I don't understand it. It's not good.
Yeah.
I get something different every time. It's not like I get the same thing. I've gotten a bowl, I've gotten a burrito, I've gotten something else. I'm like, what's the hype? I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's nothing too great. I just think that now your Tinder dates, no wonder you're not going on a lot of Tinder dates because they want to go to Chipotle. You say you don't like Chipotle, and that just ruins it. That's it. You're done.
Well, to be fair, I've never had one suggest Chipotle, so we haven't gotten there yet.
You haven't even gotten there, Jesus. All right, I'm up next then. I'm in the middle. Here we go. This is a good one here. I think people need to, hopefully they agree. Subway.
Honestly, yeah.
Dude.
I agree.
That's not a bad pick. That's way better than any other pick you've made so far, Logan.
That's definitely bottom tier.
I actually take that I will take that seriously from what you just said, Dustin, because like I said,
Subway's so bad it wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, like I don't ever. If I want to go to get a sub, I would never think about going to Subway to get a sub. I mean, you live in Florida. We live in Florida and down here, except for you, Austin. But I mean, you lived here, so you know about pubs.
I mean, we have Publix here too.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
There you have it.
We literally chose this location to live in North Carolina because there's a Publix down the street.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Just for pubs. But yeah, Subway is dog dookie. I'd rather make a sandwich at home than go to Subway. I just don't know why I would pay money to have people that make that. Maybe the meatball sub would save it, but
cookies are solid.
What are the best sub places? Real quick.
Jersey Mike's is solid. I won't say it's great, but it's solid.
Okay. I mean, we're all agreed pub subs.
Yeah, pub subs the best. And I want to make clear, I'm not a huge sub fan, but pub subs are elite.
Okay, that's good. Making sure. All right, Dustin, you're out. You're last year, grand finale. Your top first fast foods.
My last one is Sonic. Logan was talking about Taco Bell having to use a microwave. Imagine Sonic.
I understand, but I'm gonna disagree. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm gonna disagree.
Okay, what's your go-to meal, Austin? At Sonic.
It's been like 3 years since I've been. I just don't hate it. That's all I'm saying.
I think there's some hatred there. 3 years, that's a long time. feel like
Actually,
you could
no,
add
2
it
years.
together.
You choose Sonic over Chipotle.
Every day of the week. I would eat Sonic every meal of every day before I choose Chipotle.
Dude, I would rather eat Chipotle off the ground than Sonic.
Wow.
Like some hobo came by and stepped in it, and I was like, well, there's still a piece of chicken in there.
Are you sure that that's not you with any kind of food, though?
Not lettuce.
Vegetables. Oh man, yeah, no, Sonic. I actually have never really eaten anything there. I've just been invited to have like smoothies or whatever their things are, and those really are dog shit too. So, I don't know. Sonic's never been on my mind of things to go, like a place to go get food. Really, to be honest. I guess you get like the factor of like old school where you sit outside and people bring you food. I guess is that like the hit of it?
No, it's just such a cheap restaurant that instead of giving you a table, they're like, here, eat in your car.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing for it, right? Like, you pay to sit in your
It's
car.
an argument you won't win, Logan.
I mean, I'm right there. I mean, I just never really eat anything there, so I can't say it's terrible. But
And one time I had a chili dog from there.
Mm.
I never will again.
Why? It tasted bad, or it just did something dirty to you?
No, because I threw up on my shoe.
Oh. All right, Austin, and well, never mind. This is football recruiting, so that's the end of that segment. I think we're going to keep on doing that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, we didn't make you want to vomit, but
hit us with your worst three.
Yeah, tweet us, do something, Discord us. But yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. All right, recruiting, Dustin. What do you have for us?
Oh, is it my turn?
Is there any other Dustin in here?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you got this because you wrote this down, and you are the recruiting guy here on this podcast that knows more than me, and that's for damn sure.
All right, so yeah, short little recruiting segment here. We've got some commitments that could be coming in the near future for Florida State. A couple players to watch. 3-star center Bryson Estes, 3-star wide receiver Joshua Burrell, and 2021 tight end Jackson West. All three recently got crystal balled to Florida State by multiple reporters. Estes recently named Florida State in his top 5. West got an offer from Florida State and then announced that he could be committing anytime the very next day. And then there's also some names we've heard before, namely 4-star wide receiver Dustin Pizzone. It's been rumored that he was going to pull the trigger to Florida State since like March, it feels like. And also 4-star safety Dink Jackson and 3-star linebacker Andrew Jones could be committing sometime, I would say, this summer as well. Andrew Jones, it seemed like he was ready to make his decision in May, but he went ahead and decided to push that back. I think that's because Georgia recently hopped in on his commitment, so it could come down to Florida State and Georgia there. But I think the relationship with David Johnson would win out in any case. But just a couple reasons to be excited, even though it's been kind of, I guess, slow, you would say, on the trail for Florida State. They landed 2 commits in May, but you're kind of looking for that big cycle where you get 4, 5, 6 commits in a month or in a short little stretch. And I think that could be coming for FSU sooner rather than later. Then also some more updates. The offensive line board is narrowing down a little bit with Ja'Kiah Leftwich committing to Georgia Tech and Micah Pettis committing to Ole Miss. Those were 2 guys. I think we had Nate on the podcast a couple months ago, shortly after National Signing Day. And those were 2 guys that he had keyed in for Florida State to land, and now they've committed elsewhere. So now you're looking at 3-star offensive tackle Ross Orr out of Alabama as a must land on the offensive line. Another target to keep your eye on, Kobe Jackson, 3-star offensive tackle out of Texas. So Florida State, still a lot of work to do on the offensive line. But just real quick, let's talk about the defensive backfield. They did land some talented guys in May, like I said, Hunter Washington, as well as Kevin Knowles. And then along with Dink Jackson, they could also add Terrion Arnold and Amari Harvey. There's still a chance that you get Sage Ryan or another talented safety in the fold, so we just have to keep watching.
Should FSU fans, I know it's kind of slow right now, but should FSU fans kind of be worried that not a lot, some of these targets are going elsewhere, or do you think, let the season happen, let production happen, and things will be just fine? Just kind of be patient.
Yeah, I think right now it's okay with being patient. I mean, Florida State, they were hoping to use this offseason to build that momentum on the recruiting trail, keep getting talented guys coming through Tallahassee, check out the spring practice, spring game to see how the staff is taking steps forward with the roster on the field. And unfortunately, since they didn't get to do that, I mean, there's just still a lot of question marks, I would say, with some prospects in regards to Florida State. They'll be able to shore some of that up during the season. And then for other prospects, it's just the relationships and where their recruitment currently is. So I don't think there's any reason to panic. By all accounts, I'm still expecting Florida State to end up with a top 10 class.
Perfect. I say we jump right now into our special guest of the week. We brought on Trent Forrest. We had an incredible interview with him. I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's jump to it right now.
As Florida State looks fresh. Forrest fresh as he goes to the bucket and got fouled. That's a door slamming right there. That is a door slamming.
All right, so we are back with a big interview here. Really excited about this one. We've got a special guest with us, 2020 ACC champion, all ACC defensive team of 2020. Maybe more importantly here, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020 ACC academic team. I mean, that's the most important one accolade there. But our special guest with us tonight is Trent Forrest, former Nole. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? Just not much, trying to stay safe. That's about it.
Exactly.
So obviously, the big game everyone talked about this year was the Louisville game. Stemming back from the first game, what was the atmosphere like in both of those games? Because I've never heard you talk trash like you were doing even after the second game, saying if you're going to start something, you got to finish it. You were rocking the baby on guys. What were those games like? Or what were those games like?
Yeah, no, definitely. It was, a great atmosphere to play in both of those games, both up there and when we played them at home. I feel like the first game of the season helped us kind of prepare for games like that. So that's what kind of helped us throughout the whole season. But, those two games probably single-handedly were probably the most intense and kind of best atmosphere that I've probably played in since I've been in college. And,
of course, the Jordan Ward dunk. What were you thinking when you got that outlet pass from MJ and then the craziness after what was going through your head?
Yeah, so, I knew I was going to be open just from kind of how our press break is set up. And I kind of knew MJ had seen me, but at first I really wasn't expecting, I guess, to dunk it because I thought he was kind of just going to let me go. But at the last second, I kind of seen him out the corner of my eye. And, at that point, it was, either I'm going to have to try to dunk it or if I try to lay it up, I'm probably going to get it blocked. So, I just went with the dunk. And after that, everybody just went crazy. So it was lit.
Did you instantly already know after that, Trent, that it was going to be on SportsCenter?
I definitely did. It took me a little bit to kind of think about it just because I was caught up in the moment a little bit. But I was like, that was really on the war, so that was definitely probably going to be on there. So it was crazy.
I think your teammates went about as nuts as they possibly could. That was probably one of my favorite parts about it.
Yeah.
They loved it.
So, Trent, you wore number 11 in high school, and Austin told us that you were going to wear number 20 at Florida State before Benji Bell transferred. Why'd you end up deciding to wear number 3 throughout your career?
That's kind of how it went down. Coming in, I couldn't get it. I was supposed to get 11, but they gave it away to somebody else. So then I was like, I would go with 0 or 2, but I think Phil or somebody had 0, and then Coach Jones was just like, we can combine them. And I really didn't want 20 because I had never played in 20, and I mean, it's not too many basketball players that wear number 20. So, I mean, there was that, and then, I mean, it just happened where Benji left kind of right before the season. And I was able to get 3, kind of get back to a single digit. And then, I mean, I wasn't opposed to wearing 3 because two of my friends, one of my AAU teammates, he played and he was number 3 and he passed away. So that's kind of a remembrance of him. And then also a guy I played against in high school. He was number 13. So just kind of a common denominator between both of those guys was the number 3. So I just went with it.
You're related to former Florida State running back Amp Lee. Was that a big part of your recruitment to Tallahassee and Florida State, or what was your big factors for coming to Florida State?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that was a big reason, but it really wasn't. I mean, especially just through my recruitment process, Amp really never talked to me, I mean, about coming here or anything like that. Like, my parents, they let me go through the process kind of by myself and make the decision on my own. So, I mean, a lot of people think that just because he's my cousin or whatever, but, I mean, he really didn't say much at all. But, I mean, coming here it was an easy decision just because, I mean, kind of that I had family ties here. But, I mean, I was able to play in the best conference. I was able to play close to home where my people could see me, and just the relationship I had with the coaches. So all 3 of those things was kind of big factors for me in coming here.
And in Tallahassee, I remember reading one article saying you and CJ Walker wanted to play together. When did you find out he was transferring, and you guys were pretty close in Tallahassee? And what was going through your mind when you found out?
Yeah, so we definitely wanted to play with each other. We both, well, he had told me at an AAU tournament that he was coming to Florida State, and I thought he was kind of playing, but he eventually came. So, I mean, it kind of started there, and then, I mean, I found out a couple of days after, I think that was the Elite 8 run that we had. We had just got back, and we didn't have no kind of idea that he was transferring, and then I think somebody sent it in our group chat about him transferring, and then he kind of sent us like a message of what was going on, and that's kind of how I had found out about it.
Trent, going into the AC tournament, y'all were set up for a nice little revenge tour, likely going against the teams who you lost your last 3 games against, Clemson, Duke, and Virginia. How prepared and how confident were y'all going into that tournament before it ultimately, got canceled?
We were very confident. We was looking forward, especially to that first game, Clemson, because I think that was the last team we had lost to maybe on the season. So we was definitely looking forward to playing those guys just because of how everything kind of went down when we played them there. So, I mean, just the whole weekend or kind of the couple of days right before we got there, we were super prepared and we were ready to play. So that was kind of, I guess, my mindset and the team's mindset when we got to that point, because we definitely felt like we would have been playing on Saturday.
You've been a part of the best teams in Florida State history, the 3 best regular seasons and an Elite 8 run. It's a tough decision. You got to choose one team. Which team's the best?
If like everybody is healthy, I probably would go at my junior year. If everybody's healthy, if we're going with kind of the people that was injured, I probably would go with this year. But with healthy everybody, I think last year probably my junior year would have been probably the best team that we had.
Why is that, Trent? Why do you think that team would be the best?
Yeah, I mean, we had the experience. We had, I mean, enough of the young guys. I mean, we had it, and I feel like, I mean, we just kind of had bad things happen right there at the end of the season that caused us to kind of not get to where we fully would have been if we would have had a healthy team. And, I mean, compared to my sophomore year, I just feel like the depth was was more there. We had a lot of guys playing on the right note and just things like that. So I would definitely give it to that team.
Gotcha. Tell me, Trent, your favorite Leonard Hamilton story, because everybody sees him on TV. We see him wearing the tuck, and he's just frowning at everybody. He looks like he wants to rip someone's head off. He looks very scared of people that watch him on ESPN. Yeah. But do you have any kind of good, funny, favorite moment maybe? It doesn't even have to be funny. It might be where he's pissed off at y'all or something at practice. But do you have a good memory or story from him coaching you?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, like you said, they see kind of the serious Coach Ham, but I mean, something kind of funny that he does. He always comes, or you'll see him in the BTC sometimes, and you'll like hear somebody singing, and then you'll come around the corner and you'll see it's Coach Ham. So that's something funny that that he kind of always does, and he speaks of how good of a singer he is. So that's one thing. And then during practice, he usually not running practice as much as usually Coach Jones or one of the assistants, but he'll sit on the side, and if he sees like somebody messing up or something, he'll tell like the person on the that's working the shot clock for practice. He'll be like, "Stop that clock! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!" And it's just funny how he does it.
Yeah, I've been there a few times, ran clock for 2.5 years. And hey, you know Jones, he lets loose on everyone, especially guys on clock. Do you have good stories about CY or Jones or even Gates and Coach Smith?
Oh, man. I really could go down the line. CY, there's too many stories I could tell about CY because he's like the kind of comedian out of all of the coaches, so he's always coming there and joking. But one story I probably always remember is, I think it was this year. He did it, I think maybe my sophomore or junior year too, but we were getting ready to play Louisville this year, and we're getting the film in or whatever. And then he comes in with his like shirt off. He has on a tank top with some boxing gloves, and he's like it's not.
This is what I was going to bring up. He did it at Rutgers.
Yeah, that's what it was. And he was like, "You're not going to a basketball game. You're going to a street fight." Then he started like throwing punches and like slap boxing. It was hilarious. Coach Jones, there's too many I could probably have about Coach Jones. I mean, really, just if you wanna find anything out about basketball, I would say just go to him because he has all the answers for everything. And then Coach Gates was like a bigger brother rather than a coach for most of us because he was closer to our age. But the one story I remember is just when I got sick my freshman year against Duke, and he had came to my apartment at like 2 a.m. to take me to the hospital. And I mean, he had to help me. Like, I couldn't even get dressed or anything. So he had to like dress me. I mean, basically carry me to his car and take me to the hospital. So that's something I kind of always remember about Coach Gates.
One thing that we really like to talk about on this podcast is food. I think just about every guest we bring on here, we have a couple food-related questions for them to answer. With that being said, what's your favorite place to eat in Tallahassee or even Chipley? Because I mean, it's not too far of a drive away from Tally.
We had Jacquez Patrick on as our last guest, and what did he say? What did he say?
He had a couple.
He said I think he said Marie Livingston's.
I think Chubby's was on there.
Yeah, Chubby's was on there.
Yeah. But what's your favorite food place?
In Tallahassee,
or Chipley.
In Chipley, usually just at my mom's house. That's usually
smart choice.
I mean, it's not
smart choice.
Yeah, there's not a lot of restaurants in Chipley unless it's like fast food. So, but in Tally, I like to go to Marie Livingston's too. I go to Zaxby's a lot. Where else do I go from? Leola's, which is like on like FAMU side of campus. It's like a seafood place. Mm-hmm. They got some pretty good seafood, so I go there a lot too.
Trent, and usually players will you were able to tell really early on, but during practices at the start of the season, were you able to tell that this team was pretty special and that it had a national championship caliber to it? Do you kind of feel like you're already, you're going to go back into the tournament, but really make a big move to maybe get to that Final Four in Atlanta?
Oh, nah, I'll be honest. I did like preseason and over the summer, I really didn't know. So, I mean, the whole time I was kind of thinking it was going to be tough for us. I thought we really wasn't going to kind of be the same Florida State that we were used to and playing a lot of guys just because we had like 6 new players coming in. So I actually thought this year was going to be a little different where, I mean, we were probably going to have a shorter rotation, but I didn't think we were going to be playing at the level that we were. I mean, definitely in the preseason or before we got into games or anything. But, I mean, it turned out the way it did, and guys got a lot of experience quick, and I feel like we definitely helped them kind of speed up their process in that aspect.
When do you feel you guys turn the corner to you're thinking, wow, we really have a chance to be a national champion this year?
I think I would say after the first game. I mean, after we lost and then we went on like that 10-game win streak right there at the beginning of the season. I feel like that was definitely the moment where we kind of realized how good we really were. I mean, even though we lost to Pitt the first game, but after that 10-game win streak, I mean, I was surprised myself, but everybody on the team, like, we really understood how good we really were. That, I mean, we could play with anybody in the country.
How disappointed were you for your career to end the way it did, with the postseason being canceled after going to back-to-back Sweet 16s and an Elite 8 the previous 2 years? And especially with, like you were talking about this past team, you guys were as hot as ever right there going into the tournament at the start of March. So, yeah, just how disappointing was it with everything turning out like that?
Yeah, no, I was definitely very disappointed. Just, I mean, like you touched on, we were playing so well, and I mean, I definitely feel like we would have made history and kind of got back to the Final Four. I mean, we haven't been, I think, since like '72 or something like that. So, I mean, just to continue to make history, and that was something I just wanted to leave my mark here. I mean, we still kind of did that, but I mean, I just feel like we kind of got robbed of some of the things just because of the virus or whatever. But I mean, it was still a great season.
And going back to Greensboro, you're getting handed the trophy. What was the locker room like when you're being told coming off the court after warm-ups, hey, we're probably not going to play, and then out there being handed the trophy? We could all see it in your faces, but what was actually going through y'all's head?
Yeah, so, I mean, kind of the whole day was a weird vibe, and I mean, it just wasn't like kind of how we usually were, I guess, when we had a game. So it was kind of off, I guess you could say, in some sense. And once they told us to come off the court that last time, we kind of knew what was about to happen. So, I mean, it happened. And then when they gave us the trophy, it's just like you said. It was like, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, we are the number one seed in the conference or whatever, but, I mean, we really didn't work for it or anything like that. So it's like, you really can't be happy for something you didn't go out and earn. So, I mean, it was like, do we smile or, like, what do we do? Because, I mean, it's not like we went out and played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were actually about to be one of the last teams in sports about to even play a game. At first, they were going to do it without fans. You're about to be the first one to do it without fans being there. And then everything started falling apart between all the sports. It was just such a weird thinking. And I was in class during that, and that's when they started canceling classes. But it was so weird to think that y'all were going to play in a tournament without any fans around you guys. Do you think that would have affected you? You think that would have been pretty weird because, this last couple of seasons, y'all have been playing in the Tuck, and I mean, I know y'all were going to be out of town in this one, but still the fans play a huge part, I think, in games. Is that true for y'all?
No, they definitely play a big role, but I don't think it would have affected us too much. Just because, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, we had some exercises with one of our team, like psychologists, where we had to play kind of without any fans, and it was like without a basketball, and we kind of had to create our own energy. So I feel like we would have been ready for that. It definitely would have been a little different, but we would have been able to handle it well. And I feel like just with the way that we play, we would have been able to create enough energy kind of to get up and win games like that. Whereas, I mean, you get teams like Carolina and Duke or something like that, maybe they're not going to be kind of as juiced to play because they don't, like you said, they're playing in their home, but they don't have their fans there.
Going on a brighter note now, you've had a lot of game winners in your career. Purdue at home in 2018, Notre Dame this past season. You had the assist to PJ against Xavier. Clemson at home in 2018, where we literally ran the same play 3 times and they couldn't stop you. You have to choose one. Which one are you going with?
Oh man, that is a tough one.
See, that's why I was like, "Hey, Austin, text him and send him."
I mean, we gotta catch him off guard.
Yeah,
off guard here and there.
Yeah.
I probably would say probably the Purdue one maybe. Would be probably my favorite one. I don't know. I mean, like you said, there's so many to choose from, but I probably would give that one the edge though.
Trent, you're moving into the next step of your basketball career. Have you gotten any advice from guys like Dwayne Bacon, Jonathan Isaac, Terrence Mann, Fiondu, any of those guys that are now in the NBA? And then also, it's kind of like a 2-part question. What do you think are some of the most important qualities you can bring to an NBA team?
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, I talked to a lot of those guys. I actually signed with the same agency that Terrence is with. But, I mean, they've been able to help me a lot just with how the business of the NBA works. Not even really about stuff on the court, but just how things off the court work with them with making decisions and things like that. And then, I mean, I'll talk to for Terrence. He helped me just when I had questions about the agency that he was with. And, I mean, just the things they offer, things like that. And then on the court stuff, I mean, they talk a lot about just how hard it is because you have the best players in the world kind of coming into practice competing and just how hard they actually work. So that's kind of just a combination of the different things that they kind of told me about. As far as for me, just things that I can, bring right away. I mean, definitely I feel like my defense is going to translate well. Leadership and just feel like the most important thing that I can do is just come in and help win. I've been able to do that, like we kind of talked about earlier, kind of at all 4 years here. And I feel like at the next level, I mean, a lot of teams want to win. That's what it's about. So I definitely feel like that's going to be able to help me.
And then going more with Terrence Mann, you're set up to have a very similar path to the NBA like he did. You're going to do Portsmouth Invitational likely, and then probably the G League Combine. With the Portsmouth Invitational being canceled, have you been told anything on what you can prepare for these next coming months?
For now at least, just worry about kind of staying in shape, making sure I'm still running, things like that, trying to lift as much as I can. And luckily it's a gym here in Tallahassee that I've been able to get into to kind of get some work in. So that's been able to help me a lot. But other than that, from what teams are telling me and my agent and even like some of the coaches still here, I actually heard today that maybe they're going to bring back the combine and pre-draft workouts, in the late September or something like that. So, really just staying ready kind of is the biggest thing right now that they're saying, just staying ready for when everything kind of comes back to normal. So that's really what it's been mostly right now.
So I've got the most important question here tonight, and we really need to know your answer. I need to know it. This is serious, and we've had a big argument about it today. But out of the 3, Trent, which one are you going with? Sweet tea, lemonade, or Arnold Palmer?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely probably go with lemonade.
Wow! Let's go! Yes.
Yeah.
Trent, that was great having you. It was great having you on the podcast. We're gonna Wow. Austin wasn't thinking you were going to pick lemonade. He thought you were going to pick.
Yeah, I was pretty convinced you were going sweet tea, but I chose lemonade as well, so I'm pretty happy.
Nah, see, the crazy thing is, I mean, just from even being, I could see why just being from Florida and being from like a country town, but I don't even like sweet tea. I think in my whole life, I'll probably drunk sweet tea probably less than 5 pounds.
You're losing brownie points over here, Trent.
Wow.
Yeah, as big as it is down here, I mean, I don't know, it's not good to me, but I mean, lemonade, you got so many flavors. You got regular lemonade, strawberry lemonade. I mean, you got flavors with it.
It's versatile.
This is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. I love it.
I don't know about that one. 2-2. We need someone else to come on and give us an answer. That's tied right now. So wait, if you're going to Chick-fil-A, are you getting a lemonade there?
Yeah, I would before sweet tea for sure. I mean, they have some good sweet tea. I mean, not good sweet tea.
Oh, I got that down. Write that down.
I mean, good lemonade.
We got the clip. Oh, we got the sound bite. That's all that matters. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We let all the listeners know. But that's good to know. That's good to know. I guess me and Dustin's are the only ones that know what good stuff tastes. Let's see. What else Austin, you've got another one here before I ask my last one down here.
Yes, so you're ending your career in Tallahassee as the only player in basketball history with 100-plus wins. What does that mean to you, given the players that have come through, the Dave Cowens, the Charlie Wards, Bob Suras? What does that mean to you to be the only 100-plus win player?
It means a lot. I mean, obviously it's hard to do that. I mean, like you said, because there's so many great players that's been here. I mean, you just named them, a lot of. I mean, only a couple of them, and I mean, you have a good list right there. But I mean, it's very hard to do that, especially here at Florida State. Nobody probably thought we would be able to have the seasons that we put together in my 4 years, and then, I mean, just to do that and put myself kind of in the conversation with guys like those. I mean, it just, goes to show the work that we kind of put in here.
Do you think you deserve your number in the rafters along with Bobby Sura and those other names?
I think it's close. I mean, Coach Jones, that was kind of one of the reasons I came here. Is he told me he thought I would be a guy that would be able to do that. And I mean, stat-wise and wins and just kind of what I've been able to do for the program is definitely, I mean, I feel like should get considered. I mean, if not, I'm not going to think no less of Florida State or anything like that. I mean, I enjoy my time here and it's going to be with me forever. So, but I mean, I definitely think it's going to be something they'll be able to talk about even if they don't decide on actually doing it.
Yeah, no, you have a lot of FSU fans pulling for you too to have that happen. So I mean, yeah. Twitter during your last home game, there was a lot of fans on Twitter talking about you, and it was obviously rough to have the ACC tournament stop and obviously March Madness, because I think a lot of FSU fans saw a future national championship team, and we're going to make history. But you did your thing, so you got a lot of fans who would support you in that way. I've got one last question here, and obviously Leonard Hamilton is rolling right now. He's got another very talented guy with Scotty Barnes coming in this next class. Already still has talent at FSU. Do you think Coach Hamilton is like on a roll here? Like, has he hit his peak? Do you think that he's still got more in him? You think he wants to retire anytime soon? Like, just tell me how, maybe what you think about him and, how you've seen him grow as a coach, and, is there any time stopping now for him?
Yeah. I don't think he's hit his peak. I think he's still trending upwards, just with what he's been able to do. I mean, he was here. I mean, before my class got here, I mean, at least 15 years, I know for sure. So, I mean, he was still kind of making his mark there. And then even when my class came in, I mean, it wasn't like that was his best, because we got better each year. So I still don't consider that his peak. I still feel like he's climbing upwards, and that Florida State is kind of going to just get better. I feel like next year they're going to be able to do the same thing and get back to where we were this year. So I don't think he's hit his peak yet. As far as just him as a recruiter and him as a coach, I don't think he's going to be done until Coach M is ready to be done. He's already in his 70s, but you wouldn't even know that he takes good kind of care of himself. Outside of kind of what everybody sees. He still gets in the weight room. He still makes sure he's eating the right thing. So I definitely think whenever Coach Ham is ready, that would kind of be my answer to when he's going to be done coaching. But I definitely don't see him kind of giving it up no time soon, just because I feel like he definitely still has the desire to get that national championship. And I feel like he's going to have the team in the next couple of years to be able to do that.
Awesome. Like hearing that. You guys, Dustin, Austin, y'all got any more?
I'm good.
No, Austin stole my question. So.
I forgot to ask this, though, but does Austin have a jump shot? Like, come on now. Look at his profile picture on Twitter.
Trent, don't lie.
No. It's him shooting the ball, acting like he's got some kind of shot. Trent, does he have a shot? Does Austin have a shot?
Nah, he definitely does. He definitely does. Nah, for sure. I'm gonna give him his credit. He definitely does. He can shoot it a little bit. So I've seen him win a couple shooting games, and I would let him win here and there against me.
Oh my God. Okay.
Damn. Let him win, kind of like this, like you're babysitting him a little bit.
God.
Yeah,
man,
something like that.
Your freshman year when we played the free throw game with Ojo. God,
dude. Anybody on our team would have lost a free throw game that year.
Yeah, that was a bad year.
So bad.
Yeah.
Well, even the sweet tea thing, lemonade thing, even though that happened, I still think this was an incredible interview, and we definitely thank you for coming on with us, Trent, and hopefully maybe in this upcoming season, whatever it's going to be, no fans, whatever it is, maybe we can get you on here and preview a big game like an FSU Duke or something like that.
No, for sure. I definitely look forward to it for sure.
Yes, and from us, best of luck too. When the combine happens, and definitely while you're working out, stay healthy, and look forward to covering you wherever you go here at NG.
No, for sure. I appreciate you guys, definitely.
All right, so we hope you guys enjoyed the interview there with Trent Forrest. Hopefully we'll be able to bring him back on maybe to preview a big game like we were talking about earlier, bring him on to preview a big game under Leonard Hamilton this upcoming next season. But for right now, let's jump into some basketball stuff. And I think Austin has a pretty big update from what he learned a couple hours ago on an update, an FSU target 5-star Musa Cisse. I completely screwed that. You're going to have to fix it, Austin.
You weren't too far off. Musa Cisse just reclassified to the 2020 class either yesterday or 2 days ago. He's been a heavy target for Florida State. Their lack of involvement in other recruits, people have kind of pointed towards, maybe they're really confident getting Cisse. But I did hear a couple of hours ago that he's likely headed to LSU. It's kind of been the going theme. A lot of national analysts have been thinking that way as well. But a couple of people that are pretty close in and a couple people in the NBA circles have been telling me the past couple of days, likely headed to LSU, which to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. They've got a lot of big guys there already. They've signed 3 or 4 this past recruiting cycle. They've already got 1 or 2 returning from last season. He's going to be going in a really crowded front court there, and I really don't like the fit for him, but if that is where he decides to end up, which I think is pretty set in stone. He's supposed to be announcing here in the next few days. It's his decision. I know this is going to sound like an excuse, but there's been a couple rumors that Florida State maybe not like the guys he's around or his handlers, anything like that. But I still think it was a guy they really wanted. But I also think that their pursuit after Efton Reed, another 5-star big who's likely going to reclassify, I think their pursuit after him has been pretty telling. For those who don't know who Efton Reed is, he's currently the 21st player in 2021. His quick scouting report from 24/7 says has NBA center size, His game is skill-based and not athletically based, which is kind of surprising for a Florida State big. Has good footwork and touching the post, can stretch defense to three-point line, comfortable with the ball as a passer, has good hands and rebounds his area, not a great shot blocker, positional defender inside, and needs to improve quickness to defend on perimeter. His NBA comparison is Moses Brown, who was a guy FSU heavily went after, got him on a campus before he ended up going to UCLA. But like I said, I think their pursuit after him recently is pretty telling in the Musa Chise situation.
Will Wade sprained his shoulder dropping that heavy ass bag for Chise.
Yeah, and trust me when I say you're not the only one that I've heard saying that. At this point, it's when, not if, LSU is going to get hit like Louisville did. They're one of those schools, Kansas, Arizona, maybe even Auburn, that I think they're going to hit pretty heavily by the NCAA as far as penalties goes. I don't know if it'll come out before Chise decides. But at this point, everything's pointing to LSU for Musa Chise. Some other recruiting notes. Jalen Rutherford, a JUCO guard, is down to Florida State and Georgetown. He averaged 20-plus points per game last year. 6'3" combo guard. Can dish it, can rebound. It's a very typical Florida State JUCO guy they'd go after, very similar to Raekwon Evans last year. They've offered a handful of 21 guys. James Graham, a 6'9" wing out of Milwaukee. At the moment, he's not ranked, but very talented player. J.D. Davidson, 5-star point guard out of Alabama. They just offered him recently, so I can't imagine they catch up in the recruiting race there, but want to watch out for. And then Jalen Worley, a combo guard out of Pennsylvania. Another guy who I think is a 3 or 4-star. 4-star, currently the 20th best player in the class. They just offered him recently. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the big news, Musa Chise, more than likely headed to LSU.
Yeah, man, I would say that's definitely disappointing news for Florida State. But like you said, Austin, they're going to try and find a backup option. Maybe you wouldn't even call him a backup option. And Efton Reed, who could be a pretty capable player himself. And your note on Jalen Rutherford, I don't know if he's a guy that ends up at Florida State. To me, it seems he's more of a Georgetown caliber player.
It's important to note that he's 6'3", which if he were to come to Florida State, he'd be the shortest scholarship player on the roster, which that alone is absurd. But I don't know. I had some brief conversations with him. We were supposed to do an actual interview, but scheduling conflicts ended up canceling it. He seemed excited about Florida State and the potential to go there. We'll see. But going back to Chise, the fact that we can miss out on a top 10 guy and our backup options, a top 25 guys, pretty telling where the program's at these days.
Yep, and I believe Florida State currently has one open scholarship remaining, and
they still have 2 actually.
2?
Yeah, they still have 2 open slots right now.
Dang. So let's say you slot Reed in with one of those. Is Jalen Rutherford the only other guy on the radar right now?
You've got him. You've got Jermonte Hill, who I've mentioned before, out of Atlanta. He's a guy that it seems like if Florida State tells him, hey, we want you to come to Florida State, he'll come to Florida State because he still hasn't signed anywhere that I know of. He seems like a good guy. There was another one, but I forget who it was. I feel like Jermonte Hill's the main backup. There's that Devondre Mayfield guy who I don't see it happening. I think Jermonte Hill is the most likely option if Jalen Rutherford isn't the guy. Olivier Sarr went to Kentucky. Brandon Childress, I think.
Yeah, the guard.
Oh, no. Shondy Brown. What did happen with him?
Well, I'm saying, I feel like I haven't heard anything.
He went to Michigan. Michigan got Shondy Brown and Noel Eastern out of Purdue.
Yeah. That's another one off the board.
Yeah. And I think I saw yesterday, Jeff Goodman of Stadium tweeted, I think 77% of all potential transfers have already committed or chosen their destination. There's obviously a lot of options out there, but not nearly as much as there have been.
So Florida State, they basically went without a 13 scholarship player this year.
Yeah.
You think they could do it again?
I absolutely think they can.
Save that scholarship for 2021 and not just waste it on someone who might transfer out after a couple years.
It depends what their plans are with Quincy Ballard. the very late signee who kind of came out of nowhere. If they plan to redshirt him, they're going to need a 13th guy that can contribute, whether that's JUCO, grad transfer, just something that, they can slide in there. And I'd like to remind, PJ Savoy wasn't added to the class until August of the same season. So it doesn't have to be done now or in the next month. They can still get quality players in July and August. And with the way coronavirus is going, it may even end up being September, and the season may be pushed back. Who knows? But if they plan on redshirting Ballard, which I can't see them not redshirting him, they're going to need a 13th guy. He's very raw. He's more raw than Kamaji was, I think, because he's still really growing into his skin. He was 6'9" for a long time, and now he's 6'11". He's not quite Kabengele in terms of how raw he was. He was a 6'4" guy that was all of a sudden 6'10". He's got this very athletic, very out of shape frame. By the time he was in shape, towards the end of his redshirt season, you could tell this dude's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to. Ballard's already in great physical shape. He's just got so many raw tools that they have to play with.
How would you compare him to a guy like Michael Ojo coming in?
Ojo was just brute strength. And granted, I wasn't there for the beginning part of Ojo. It's only what we're all seeing on TV. I can only tell you what I saw at the end of Ojo's development. And I saw a guy that was really hard worker, really smart. By the time that season was over and he was trying to get into NBA camps, nobody was working harder. Obviously, Ballard's way more athletic. Ojo had quick feet, way quicker feet than anybody of his size should. But Ballard's bouncy. I mean, the 7-footer shouldn't be able to do the things he does. I think he's going to be a lot like DeAndre Jordan. I think probably not as powerful, but they've got very similar skill sets.
That's an interesting comparison.
Yeah, they're both really long, athletic guys who can just jump out the gym. I mean, that's really what you want out of your centers these days.
Well, let's jump into FSU trivia. I threw away my piece of paper here that had the lead. I feel like it's like 5-4 Austin.
I think it's 6-5.
Probably 6-5. We'll go with that 6-5. Let me write it down now. And we'll see what happens from here.
Threw away his piece of paper that had the lead on it.
Or if any really dedicated fans want to go back and tell us what the count is, we'd really appreciate it.
Yep. Hashtag Heath. Dedicated. We got to have more dedicated fans. I would hopefully after this.
Heath's great.
He does awesome. Let's see. So let's jump into FSU trivia. So we do this every week. If you're new to the podcast, we do an FSU trivia where I ask both Austin and Dustin a question about whatever the hell it could be. It could be any sport, football, mainly football or basketball. I don't really want to hit them with baseball because they would actually have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So I ask them a question. Whoever gets it right first gets
brownie points, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like that. I'm wondering if I should do a countdown still, or should I just say whoever tells me first gets it? Because I feel like Austin's already got Google on his laptop going.
Why am I the only one accused of cheating? Is it because Dustin only gets lucky with multiple choice? Is that what we're going with here?
Yeah, pretty much.
God.
I cheat wisely.
Hey, also congratulations. Speaking of that, congratulations for Dustin graduating.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I love how y'all didn't.
I forgot.
Did you just say you forgot?
Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
How many years were you in college?
8.
6.5.
I wasn't far off.
No. We will have a celebratory dinner at one of Dustin's favorite spot, Austin.
Hey, Arby's.
We're going to go to Sonic, everybody. We're going to Sonic. We're going to go sit in the car and just hang out.
Are you going to do it with the seatbelts on like the idiots in the commercials?
Yeah. That's what I was going to add earlier. I will hate Sonic the most because I hate those two idiots in the commercial.
If they just took the seatbelts off, it'd be fine. But they had their seatbelts on. You're parked.
Yeah, you're parked. You're gonna be all right. But first of all, they're not funny. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I've never laughed once at a Sonic commercial.
No, you've laughed once.
No,
No,
no, Austin, never have. I'm not lying.
I'm calling cap.
Never laughed at a Sonic commercial. If you laugh at a Sonic commercial, then you're either high. So Austin, I need to start questioning you. Number 2, you're on crack. And number 3, you have no idea what humor is. So
2 of those were the same thing.
Yeah.
Crack and high, I guess.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Oh well. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Who's going to get it right? 6-5. Austin has a lead. 6-5.
Okay.
Do a different thing here. So I want to get y'all's knowledge. This kind of brings me up because Dustin's streaming the 2010 roster right now on NCAA 14 on our Twitch channel.
No, so he's got an advantage.
Guys, no. I want to ask you guys what number these players wore while they're at FSU. So this should be easy. This should be nice and fine, right? So we'll start off easily with the first one. What number did Dustin Hopkins wear? Kicker.
18.
18 is correct. 18 is correct. That's good.
Easy. Brings up a kicker.
That's fine. Well, look at y'all. Right away. Next question. This is probably the easiest one. What number did Jacoby McDaniel wear?
I'll let him go
55.
first. I know. 99.
In 20, it was 99.
I thought he wore 55 too.
Yeah, he did. Later on. Boom.
I thought we were doing. No, I thought we were just doing. We were doing that just that season.
What you're doing is taking an L. Ha.
2010.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just doing in general. Okay.
All right. It's all right. It's fine.
Like I'm not wrong, but
still a tie.
You're kind of wrong.
No, I didn't know we were like when I said he had an advantage. You said like no, like we weren't just doing that season. So I said 55.
So I don't think is Jacoby McDaniel on the roster, that 2010 roster, Dustin, for what it's worth.
His true freshman season was 2009, sir. So yes.
Was he on the NCAA one? NCAA one though that you made.
Oh, well, yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, he was, but I knew his number anyway because he was like one of my favorite players when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. True. That's true. So that was in 2010. Jacoby McDaniel wore number.
I mean, we can do another one if you want.
Do you want to do another one? I'll go to it.
It's like.
I'm gonna say.
It's up to y'all.
I'm gonna say 2010. We'll go to another one. We got some time here.
Okay. Now that I know. Okay. Yeah.
Are you looking up on Google or something? You have had enough time to Google it?
I just looked at Jacoby McDaniel.
Okay. All right.
So I knew he wore both. I just didn't know. I just always associated with him 55.
The only reason he said 55 is because when you Google Jacoby McDaniel, it comes up with him at 55. He's a cheater.
Here we go.
We might need to start seeing the camera, Austin. I don't know. We'll see.
This is ridiculous.
Back in the day, you're kind of coming up with them quick. I was surprised. Anyways, next question. What number did Mr. Alexander wear?
Oh, no.
16? Mr. was one of my favorites. I think it's 16.
Bro, it's a number down there. I'm just going to say 16.
Okay, it's 16. One of my favorite players, too.
Yeah, Mr. was fun. I forgot about that name until you brought it up. He was a good one.
Yeah. What about Willie?
What?
Go ahead, Dustin.
I was saying, I knew he was down there because I keep playing. Whenever I play with the roster, I always get a tackle with like a player that's in like 16, 17, 18, something like that, and then it's always him.
Yeah, it's sad that Dustin doesn't know this. He's been playing with a friggin' roster on NCAA 14. Yeah. Jesus Christ. It goes to show what he's really focused. Let's see. All right. Up next, Rodney Hudson. It's getting hard now.
Oh, God.
62?
I think he's right. It's either. I'm going to go 64.
62 is the answer. Doesn't get the 6-6 tie, everybody.
Yeah.
I made all three of these players, by the way. Why are we doing the year where I made the players?
Yeah, that's
why
what
wouldn't
I'm
you
saying.
do like?
I'll do it next.
Had the advantage.
I'll do next week.
Next week when I'm up 7-6.
It's more enticing because everybody came here anyways for the Trent Forrest interview. But since there's a 6-6 tie between y'all two for FSC trivia, there's gonna be a load of people coming for the next episode.
It's 7-6, dog. I won twice.
No, it's
The
stuck.
first one.
Oh, give me another one.
No.
Give me another.
No. All right, let's go. Last segment. Bad dad jokes. So every week we do terrible bad dad jokes just to give you a little bit of laugh. Maybe it pisses you off every time you listen to podcasts that we do it. Or maybe it just makes you feel cringe while you're listening in the car or working out. I don't know what you're doing. I hope you're not listening to us while you're working out. I think that's a bad idea. But we give out our worst bad dad jokes of the week. Austin, you have to start first because you told us like before that you have like 50 ready because you use them on Tinder already. So
I don't know. Let's get one this year. I don't use them there. But like I'll just be surfing the web and I'll see a funny dad joke and I'll bookmark it. And what is it? Like 7 of my last 9 bookmarks are all dad jokes. So congratulations. You get a whole bunch of horrible dad jokes.
Okay, so you just they're not for Tinder, but you just that's freaky that you just keep them on your bookmarks, right, Dustin? That's a little weird.
Well, it's like now that we have a segment where we do it, yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. That's good. You do more than what Dustin does. He doesn't get on until our production meeting until last 5
I'm prepared weeks in advance for dad jokes.
Perfect. Well,
Logan, I've got so much talent. All I need to do is show up, dog.
Yeah, but they're not creative. Anyways,
you have a stream in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see if you let me go.
This first one. I used to be in a band called The Hinges. We opened for the Doors.
I don't know if the one that doesn't make me laugh is a good dad joke or a bad dad joke.
Laughing at the good one. But after that long, you've had a month.
I love it.
That's what he comes in with.
I love
brag. He was being okay. Mine's up next. All right, so I just lost mine. So that's great. Wow. What the? I just lost mine. It just disappeared. Alrighty.
That sucks.
Wow, I just lost it. So someone else go before me, or Dustin maybe. Oh, I got it. All right, everybody listening? Did you hear about the hungry clock? It went back for seconds.
No.
What went wrong?
You complain about mine, and then you say that one.
Come on. That actually had some heat to it. Yours... But see, yours, you had a month. This was just me like 30 minutes ago looking for him.
I mean, to be fair, I saved this one. When did I save it? 2 days ago.
Okay. Dustin, go ahead. Go ahead, Dustin.
All right. How can you tell it's a dogwood tree from the bark?
Yep, knew it was coming.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yours is funny because it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Wow. I mean, it just fits you, though, because it's stupid.
Hey, I'm a college graduate, I would like to say.
Yeah.
I'll be able to say that for the rest of my life.
You are. You're absolutely correct. All right. Have you ever tried to eat a clock? It's very time-consuming.
Back-to-back time jokes, ain't it?
Yeah, I know.
Sorry. Austin, you better start heating it up here.
I think I've got a good one here. What does a robot do at the end of a one-night stand? He nuts and bolts.
Dustin, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess that was the best one so far. I guess.
Like I said, no one's listening to this. Like working out. Like I can't think. Like how do y'all listen to this? Because I wonder. I don't know. Like I don't know. just don't suggest. I mean, I suggest listening to the show, but I mean, at this point, you should know.
If you cut off before the dad jokes, we don't blame you.
Yeah, after trivia, just be like, all right, they're saying bye. Dustin, go ahead. You got another one.
All right. What do you call an illegally parked frog? Toad.
Toad. It's a pretty good one. That's pretty good. Smooth.
Yeah.
Still hurts. I mean, these are all cringe.
Oh, yeah. That's the point.
Yeah. What did the mountain climber name his son? Cliff.
Damn
it. Did I steal yours? No, Dustin, I just heard you say damn it.
Yeah, I was trying to think about what it was.
What did you think it was?
Rock.
What?
The Rock? I don't know.
Okay.
That's a corny one. What you got in there?
A shop assistant fiercely fought off an armed robber with his labeling gun yesterday. Police are now looking for a man and say there's a price on his head.
Yours are like long, so they make it more cringe.
Yeah, that's the point.
That hurts. Dustin, any comment on that? Any remarks?
No.
Don't you just love this segment? Well, it went from like just dirty jokes that probably need to stop because we're gonna get canceled off of iTunes. But at least we're just gonna.
Speaking of jokes, might as well bring it up. My mom was listening to, I guess, our last podcast, and she heard your joke about Cinderella going to the ball. She said it took her a little bit to get it.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
Oh, okay. Let's.
I'm a little while to get to the ball.
Let's.
No.
Let's stop this.
That's not what I meant.
Okay. Wow. Tell Miss Lewis I'm very sorry. I've been on my behavior tonight. I've only said a couple shits here and there. Dustin, you haven't really cussed tonight either.
He dropped a couple.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There's a few.
There's a few. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We had a great time having Trent Forrest on. I definitely appreciate him taking his time. 30-minute interview with him. Maybe we'll have him on to preview a game in the future. But yeah, we are back. We're going to be recording once a week. We're excited. We have a long list of guests. We have a good lineup coming up. So everywhere from other podcast guests to athletes to maybe Austin's manager at McDonald's. We don't know, but I'm excited. So as always, you can listen to this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on iTunes, feel free to rate us 5 stars and leave a review. It helps a ton. But yeah, really appreciate you guys listening, taking your time to listen to us. And we will see you guys next week on Hear the Spear. Have a good weekend.